Hey guys, let's talk for a minute about the whole idea of trusting yourself and making decisions. So many people become paralyzed when it's time to make a decision that they feel compelled to go into Walmart and start polling 57 people that they don't even know just to get an opinion. Do you think I should take this job? I just got this offer and I'm not sure if I should take it. What do you think? I just met this guy who's interested in me. Should I date him? What do you think? Or there's just so many different things that people feel really insecure about making decisions. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't get feedback from people that you value, your best friends or your partner in life, your family members. Like, it's always great to get some feedback. But ultimately, at the end of the day, it's really important that you're able to go all the way inside yourself and be able to figure out what feels right for you and what doesn't feel right for you. So, realistically, you're the person that gets up in the morning and goes all the way through your day and experiences your day as you, with your own unique perspectives, thoughts, feelings, and ideas. Your Aunt Maddie may have some really great advice, but she doesn't know exactly what it feels like to be you and going through your day. And honestly, when people get super paralyzed by making a decision, it's because they're afraid of making the wrong decision, right? But there's very few decisions in life that are not reversible. There are very few permanent decisions. So what? If you make a decision and, a few days later you're like, oh, this doesn't really feel like I thought it was going to feel to me, or this isn't really as good as I thought it was going to be, you can always choose again. And, for people who get all insecure feeling like, oh, but I don't like to make mistakes. I don't like to be wrong. I really like to do things my ultimate best. I would suggest to you that sometimes when you make a decision and the situation doesn't feel like you thought it was going to feel, that just gives you a little more information, and that's okay. And it actually is another great place to try out one of the ways of using your body as a barometer for what's good and not good for you. Because ultimately, what's important is your ability to seek your own internal validation and not rely exclusively on external validation, right? Like, we're socialized to basically depend on external validation. As kids, we shape our behavior depending on whether or not we get praised or reprimanded by our parents. If we're praised, we do a little more of that. If we're reprimanded, we do a whole lot less of that behavior, or at least hopefully most of us do, right? But, after you're an adult, that system doesn't work quite as well anymore. It's still in place and we can still seek out those opinions. And we can spend a lot of time comparing and despairing when we look at other people, like maybe our friends or potentially people that we're interested in the media. But again, at the end of the day, we live with ourselves and we live with our decisions and we live with the choices that we make for ourselves. And the one thing about going through life with food and weight and body obsessions is it makes you really insecure as a human being. Your value and worth is often associated with a number that you're reading out on a random piece of metal, or by comparing your body parts to body parts that you might see on your friends or other people that you're coming into contact with or in the media. And God knows the images that we're looking at in the media aren't even real. They're all airbrushed. So comparing and despairing really never makes a whole lot of sense. And relegating all of our decision-making power to other people also doesn't really make sense, because no one else is going to have the life experience that we each as individuals have. So if you can take a few minutes, if there's a decision, should I date that guy, or should I take that job, or should I go to that college, or should I take that class? Should I go to that yoga studio? Whatever it might be. If you can take a couple minutes and just close your eyes and as vividly as possible, imagine being in that decision if you said yes to it. What would it feel like? Try to get it as colorful and vibrant as possible. And what does that feel like inside your body? If you kind of can feel your shoulders moving away from your ears and your heart opening up, or if you feel a sense of excitement, that's your body telling you, yeah, this feels pretty good right now. On the other hand, if you go through that same process, but you get this kind of like tight pit in your stomach and your shoulders are kind of coming up near your ears and you've got this sense of tension, That's probably your body acting as a barometer saying, you might as well pass on this one and go ahead and say no. And a really great trick that a lot of people don't know, but that is really important, is when somebody asks you for something, whether it is to make a decision about that college or that job, or, can you babysit for me tonight, or whatever it is, the first thing that you probably should say is, let me get back to you. I need to check my calendar. That also gives you a few moments to figure out if it's something that you really want to do or not, rather than being in a place of obligation to others. Like, I feel obligated to always say yes because people depend on me and rely on me. It's okay to put yourself at the top of your list and take care of yourself too. So these are just a couple of ideas about self-trust, about going inside to figure out what's right for yourself, about maybe relying a little less heavily on external validation, whether it's from a random piece of metal that you're standing on, a reflection in a piece of glass, or the thoughts and opinions of people around you, or things that you may be reading on social media or in other media sources. You ultimately are always going to be your own best expert, and it's okay to start trusting yourself that way. So I hope this was helpful, at least a little, and I look forward to hearing from you if you decide to try some of these things out. So feel free to send me a message or leave a comment below, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your day.